One bad interview camera can silently cost opportunities before you even speak. Today, I'm revealing setups that change how you're seen instantly. Welcome to my channel. Stick around for real value in choosing the best camera for interviews. If something stands out, grab it through the links in description below now. Insta360 Link 2, PTZ 4K Webcam. Most interview recordings don't fail because people lack talent, they fail because terrible webcams quietly destroy presence, eye contact, and professionalism before the conversation even starts. That's where the Insta360 Link 2 changes the atmosphere instantly. This isn't just another 4K webcam sitting lifeless on a monitor. The PTZ movement and AI tracking create a feeling that someone is actively operating the camera behind the scenes. For creators searching for the best camera for interviews, that subtle difference makes conversations feel dramatically more human. And honestly, that matters. A lot of buyers struggle with stiff framing, poor lighting performance, and robotic-looking video calls. Especially streamers, remote workers, podcasters, and online coaches trying to look polished without building a full studio setup. The Insta360 Link 2 solves that problem with its large half-an-inch sensor, HDR support, and intelligent framing that follows movement naturally. The experience feels smoother than expected. You lean forward? It adjusts. You stand up during a presentation? It follows. You gesture during an interview? The controls respond without touching the webcam. That convenience quietly removes stress during recordings. The AI noise-canceling microphone also helps in untreated rooms, reducing distractions during Zoom meetings, Twitch streams, or online interviews. Still, it's not flawless. The price sits higher than standard webcams like the Logitech Brio, and some users may find the AI movement slightly aggressive at first. But compared to cheaper fixed webcams, the Link 2 creates a far more cinematic and engaging presentation. This camera fits interview creators, educators, remote professionals, gamers, and streamers wanting studio-like presence without complicated gear. Some cameras simply show your face. This one makes people feel like they're sitting across the table from you. Nearstream VM33 Gen 2 Wireless. Most interview recordings don't fail because of bad questions, they fail because the camera misses the human moment that made the conversation worth watching. That's where the Nearstream VM33 Gen 2 becomes surprisingly different. This isn't just another streaming camera chasing flashy specs. It's built for creators who need flexibility under pressure. Podcasters, journalists, coaches, small studios, even solo YouTubers trying to create professional interview content without hiring an entire production crew. The biggest struggle buyers face is balancing quality with simplicity. Traditional interview setups often require tangled cables, external audio gear, multiple operators, and expensive switching systems. The VM33 cuts through that mess with wireless streaming, app control, RTMP support, NDI compatibility, and built-in noise-canceling microphones that actually reduce room distractions better than expected. And the zoom deserves attention. That 40x zoom creates tighter framing without constantly moving equipment around the room. During interviews, panel discussions, or live stream podcasts, it adds a cleaner, more cinematic feel that many budget streaming cameras simply can't produce. Battery life also helps in real situations. 6 hours means fewer interruptions during long recordings, live events, or back-to-back interviews. That kind of reliability quietly removes stress creators usually deal with behind the scenes. Still, it's not perfect. Low light performance can soften detail slightly compared to higher-end Sony streaming systems, and beginners may need time learning NDI workflows. But compared to bulkier traditional setups, the Nearstream feels dramatically easier to manage. This camera works especially well for interview creators, live stream hosts, educators, churches, and mobile production teams wanting professional-looking footage without overwhelming complexity. Some cameras record conversations. This one preserves the tension, silence, and emotion between every answer. Imeet S600 4K webcam for streaming. Most people don't realize a weak webcam can make them look less trustworthy before they even finish the first sentence. and that's exactly where the AMID S600 changes the conversation. This camera feels built for people tired of looking blurry, flat, or washed out during interviews, live streams, and client meetings. The first surprise is the sharpness. Thanks to the Sony sensor and true 4K capability, facial details look natural instead of overly processed. Skin tones appear cleaner. Eye contact feels more real. For creators and professionals searching for the best camera for interviews, those small visual differences quietly shape how people respond to you on screen. And then the autofocus kicks in. The TAF system reacts quickly when you lean forward, hold products near the lens, or shift positions during a live session. That matters because many webcams constantly hunt for focus, creating distracting moments that ruin professional interviews or live commerce streams. Now let's talk about the real-world problem buyers face. Most webcams either deliver decent image quality with terrible microphones, or acceptable audio with weak video performance. The AMID S600 balances both surprisingly well. The dual noise reduction microphones help voices sound cleaner in untreated rooms, making remote interviews feel less exhausting for viewers. Still, it's not flawless. The 73-degree field of view may feel slightly narrow for multi-person setups, and low light performance won't fully replace a mirrorless camera. Compared to the Logitech Brio, though, the S600 often feels smoother and more natural during streaming sessions at this price range. This webcam makes sense for interview hosts, educators, streamers, remote workers, beauty creators, and entrepreneurs building a stronger on-camera presence. Some upgrades change image quality. This one changes how seriously people listen when you speak. OBS Bot Tiny 2 Lite 4K Webcam. A webcam that can physically follow your face like a camera operator was hiding in your laptop sounds impossible until you see the OBS Bot Tiny 2 Lite in action. Most people struggle with stiff, frozen video calls where they keep adjusting posture, lighting, and framing, only to still look disconnected on screen. This camera removes that friction by using AI tracking and a half-inch sensor that follows movement smoothly, keeping you centered even when you forget the frame. It feels less like recording and more like being understood visually in real time, especially during interviews and client meetings. For anyone searching for the best camera for interviews, this setup brings 4K clarity, HDR depth, and 60 FPS fluidity that makes expressions read naturally. Gesture control is a small detail that changes everything, letting you adjust framing without touching the device during important conversations. Downsides exist. Low light performance can dip in very dark rooms, and it may feel advanced for users who only need basic video calls. Compared with simpler plug-and-play webcams, it demands a bit more setup but rewards you with far more cinematic presence. Remote workers, content creators, and professionals who depend on visual communication will notice the difference immediately. Overall, it stands out for people who want a compact upgrade that transforms ordinary video calls into polished visual conversations without needing complex equipment or studio setups, making it ideal for interviews and remote professional use cases today. Logitech Brio 4K Webcam. A video call once exposed more truth than people expected: grainy faces, uneven lighting, and voices that sounded far away from the person speaking. That's usually where professionalism quietly breaks. The Logitech Brio 4K changes that entire experience in one jump. It doesn't just improve your call quality. It redefines how you appear on screen. The first thing you notice is clarity. Real 4K detail that doesn't blur your expressions into soft pixels. Whether you're pitching ideas or attending interviews, every facial movement feels present and intentional. That matters when the screen becomes your first impression. Then comes the frustration killer: lighting chaos. Morning glare, dim rooms, late-night desk setups. This webcam adjusts automatically. HD auto light correction quietly balances everything so you don't look washed out or shadowed. Audio also feels deliberately engineered. The noise-canceling mic filters out background distractions like keyboard taps and room echo. You sound closer, not louder. Still, it's not flawless. At full 4K, it demands strong internet and a capable system. And the wide field of view, while great for meetings, may feel unnecessary for solo users who prefer tighter framing. Compared to something like the Logitech C920, the Brio feels less like a webcam and more like a hybrid between a camera and a broadcast tool. The difference is immediately visible in interviews and professional meetings. This is where it naturally fits the idea of a best camera for interviews setup, especially for remote professionals, job seekers, and educators who need their presence to feel real, not compressed. Who should consider it? Anyone whose screen presence affects opportunities. Not casual callers, but people who speak for impact. By the end of a call, you don't feel like you were seen through a webcam. You feel properly represented, almost as if you were in the room itself.